Is your glass half empty or half full? How you answer this age old question about positive thinking may reflect your outlook on life, your attitude towards yourself, and whether you're optimistic or pessimistic. And it may even affect your health. Indeed, some studies show that personality traits such as optimism and pessimism can affect many areas of your health and well being. The positive thinking that usually comes with optimism is a key part of effective stress management. And effective stress management is associated with many health benefits. If you tend to be pessimistic, don't despair. You can learn positive thinking skills. Positive thinking often starts with positive self talk. Self talk is the endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through your head. These automatic thoughts can be positive or negative. Some of your self talk comes from logic and reason. Other self talk may arise from misconception that you create because of a lack of information or expectation due to preconceived ideas of what may happen. Researchers continue to explore the effects of positive thinking and optimism on health. Health benefits that positive thinking may provide include an increased lifespan, lower rates of depression, lower levels of distress and pain, greater resistance to illness, better psychological and physical well-being, better cardiovascular health, and reduced risk of death from cardiovascular disease and stroke. Reduced risk of death from cancer, reduced risk of death from respiratory conditions, reduced risk of death from infections, better coping skills during hardships and times of stress. It's unclear why people who engage in positive thinking experience these health benefits. One theory is that having a positive outlook enables you to cope better with stressful situations, which reduces the harmful health effects of stress on your body. You can learn to turn negative thinking into positive thinking. The process is simple, but it does take time and practice. You're creating a new habit after all. Following are some ways to think and behave in a more positive and optimistic way. Identify areas to change. If you want to become more optimistic and engage in more positive thinking, first identify areas of your life that you usually think negatively about, whether it's work, your daily commute, life changes, or a relationship. You can start small by focusing on one area to approach in a more positive way. Think of a positive thought to manage your stress instead of a negative one. Check yourself. Periodically, during the day, stop and evaluate what you're thinking. If you find that your thoughts are mainly negative, try to find a way to put a positive spin on them. Be open to humor. Give yourself permission to smile or laugh, especially during difficult times. Seek humor in everyday happenings. When you can laugh at life, you feel less stressed. Follow a healthy lifestyle. Aim to exercise for about 30 minutes on most days of the week. You can also break it up into 5 or 10-minute chunks of time during the day. Exercise can positively affect mood and reduce stress. Follow a healthy diet to fuel your mind and body, get enough sleep, and learn techniques to manage stress. Surround yourself with positive people. Make sure those in your life are positive, supportive people you can depend on to give helpful advice and feedback. Negative people may increase your stress level and make you doubt your ability to manage stress in healthy ways. Practice positive self-talk. Start by following one simple rule. Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to anyone else. Be gentle and encouraging with yourself. If a negative thought enters your mind, evaluate it rationally and respond with affirmations of what is good about you. Think about things that you're thankful for in your life. Practicing positive thinking every day. If you intend to have a negative outlook, don't expect to become an optimist overnight. But with practice, eventually your self-talk will contain less self-criticism and more self-acceptance. You may also become less critical of the world around you. When your state of mind is generally optimistic, you're better able to handle everyday stress in a more constructive way. That ability may contribute to the widely observed health benefits of positive thinking. When your state of mind is generally optimistic, you're better able to handle everyday stress in a more constructive way. That ability may contribute to the widely observed health benefits of positive thinking. The benefits of positive thinking Many studies have looked at the roles of optimism and positivity, thinking in mental and physical conditions. It's not always clear which comes first, the mindset or the benefits, but there's no downside to staying upbeat. When people in one study were exposed to the flu and common cold, those with a positive outlook were less likely to stay sick and reported fewer symptoms. During another study, women who were more optimistic were less likely to die from cancer, heart disease, stroke, respiratory disease, and infection. And in a study of people over the age of 50, those who had more positive thoughts about aging lived longer. They also had less stress-related inflammation, which shows one possible link between their thoughts and health. People with a positive outlook may be more likely to live a healthy lifestyle since they have a more hopeful view of the future. But researchers took that into account and the results still held. What pessimists should know, that all sounds great, right? But what if you're naturally more pessimistic, meaning that you tend to expect the worst? No worries. It may help to see this positive thinking as a skill you can learn and benefit from, rather than a personality trait you either have or you don't. There's research on this too. In one experiment, adults who meditated daily on positive thoughts started feeling more upbeat emotions each and every day. Other studies have shown that positive thinking helps people manage illnesses and eases depression, regardless of whether they're naturally optimistic or pessimistic. First, fix the negative. Before you put positive thinking into practice, look for any negative thoughts that may be running through your mind. These can include, but are not limited to, a bad filter. Do you overlook the good things about a situation and get wrapped up in the negatives? For example, do you enjoy a fun dinner out with friends, but the restaurant gets your bill wrong at the end of the night? You leave feeling annoyed and frustrated, forgetting about the very good time that you just had. Taking the blame. Do you tend to take the blame for something bad or disappointing that happens? For example, a friend declines an invitation from you, so you assume it's because they don't want to spend time with you. Predicting disaster. This means you have one setback and then expect the worst to happen. For example, your car won't start in the morning, so you think the rest of your day is just destined to be doomed. Black and white thinking. Do you see things as either good or bad with no middle ground? In this mindset, if things aren't perfect, they're automatically bad. When you notice a negative thought, try to stop it and shift your focus to the positive. Think rationally about the situation. If it helps you to let go, you can give yourself and those around you grace. You can still hold them accountable for their actions. Your negative thoughts won't go away overnight. But with practice, you can train yourself to have a more positive outlook. Remember, you aren't overlooking the facts. You're just including those that are good.